For EP, climbing walls and handholds is our business, but that's really not why we're here. We're here to enrich people's lives and introduce climbing to the world. We know that once somebody gets an opportunity to go indoors and climb on a climbing wall, that they're going to be hooked and they're going to be a climber for life.
Hello and welcome to Haiyang in China. After a brief stint in North America, we are now back on Asian soil for the next stage of the IFSC 2014 season with a World Cup in each of our 3 disciplines. Over the next 2 days, we will see the second Boulder and Speed World Cup in China and the first Lead World Cup of this year. After a vibrant opening ceremony, the city of Haiyang, home to 690,000 people, held its breath as athletes from all reaches of the globe descended upon the local venue and prepared to ascend our 3 different competition walls. Welcome and good morning. We are about to get ready with our semi-finals in the lead here for the IFSC World Cup in Haiyang. A very exciting day yesterday, all the way through the day, through our bouldering semi-finals into our bouldering finals at night. We had our speed qualifications during the day yesterday, but unfortunately due to some technical issues, maybe fortunate for some, during today we are going to have our speed finals, so do stick around for that. We have a full packed day of coverage for you ahead of us. We start things off with our lead semi-finals now, moving into our speed finals later on, straight from this on this broadcast, and then back later on tonight for our lead finals. On your screen now are our men's semi-final start lists. These are the athletes, 26 men, 26 women, that'll be here fighting it out for a spot in the top 8 this evening and a chance to stand on top of that podium. As you can see here, leading up towards the highest ranked athletes, they are seeded now after the qualifying rounds from the previous few days, and look who it is at the very, very top of these rankings. But nice to see some other names back with us as well, such as Jakob Schubert after a timeout due to a finger injury. He's here. Romain Desgrange, our current European champion, and then Ramon Julien Piblanc here at the top of the pile. Here are our female semi-finalists, our top 26, starting off with Yang Rong. And moving through our first page here, a very good contingent turning up from both China, Japan and Korea. And nice to see a few unknowns in the mix as well here. We're going to see how they get on as we move through the rest of today. Some very exciting routes ahead of us now as well. And I've already had a bit of a sneak peek of what we're expecting for the finals tonight, and that's looking very exciting, so please do stay tuned for that later on this evening. As you can see, our top mix-up here, the final 6 on your screen now. No surprises here. Ellen Janiko, Dinara Fakadinova, Magdalena Roek, Momoka Oda, Mina Markovic, and Kim Yain. They're all around the back of the wall at the moment. They have had their observation already. We are currently waiting for our first 2 athletes to emerge as we move through our coverage here today. There you can see where they're going to be coming out from in a few moments' time. And as always, if you want to get in touch with us here at the venue, you can do so. You can get in touch using the hashtag IFSCWC. My name is Daniel Finn, and I'll be with you all the way through today. Any questions you might have, do send them in to us. Very shortly, I'll be joined by Ramon's coach. He'll be with us throughout the semi-finals here. Tony's going to be coming and sitting in the commentary booth with me, talking through these routes as we get started with the rest of our coverage here today. So please do stay tuned. We're in for a good one today.
好的，各位，这里您观看到的依然是我们的2014国际攀岩联合会攀岩世界杯的比赛现场，各位。 那么，如果您是刚刚到我们的比赛现场，再次为大家介绍一下，即将进行的是我们的男女子难度赛项目当中的半决赛。那么，我们的难度赛同样也有3个轮次，它们分别是预赛，也就是我们的资格赛，以及复赛，就是今天进行的半决赛，还有下午即将进行的决赛。 那么半决赛，男女各有26位的运动员进入我们的半决赛，将会取前8名进入下午举行的决赛。哇，竞争。
To get started on the wall here.
中国队的队员一位是013号，来自于。
Had a few problems with the weather yesterday, humidity and rain, a bit of a mix-up with a few of those. I'm told that we have a 40% chance of rain today.
难度比赛的攀爬，
So we'll wait and see. We have some cloud cover here. Relatively cool breeze going though. This should be quite nice for the athletes. Hopefully it won't get too tacky on the walls for them as they make their way through the rest of our semi-finals here. So we're going into this split screen for you here. So you can see both athletes at the same time. Jiang Rong trying to match here and then push up with the left hand in a moment to that pinch. So they have had their observation time already. They've been out in front of the wall with their binoculars or whatever they need to have a look at the very top. Somewhat straightforward route here in the semi-finals. I know that as the wall is relatively short, the route setters are planning on doing a bit of a snaky one later on tonight. Try and utilize as much of the wall as possible. Unfortunately, an early fall here on that transfer over past the blue banana for Jiang Rong. Wang Pingha still on the wall here.
看来我们的半决赛难度非常的大。这里再为大家介绍一下如何来观看比赛，如何来评定我们的成绩。
We get ready for our next female athlete to emerge.
我们的速度赛大家很好理解啊，比谁爬得更快。我们的难度赛如何来评判成绩呢？比谁爬得更高。我们的运动员需要按照顺序。
Looks like there's a potential rest point here early on for two.
比如说我们男子运动员现在这挂快挂。 那么如何来看它的成绩好坏呢？注意看我们线路最顶端有一个非常大的蓝色的圆盘，上面写着 top， 那就是最后线路的最顶端。比拼的就是谁爬得更高。OK。Second male, female.
So our next female athlete out for us is Kim Seong-hyun from Korea. Second lowest to qualify from yesterday. As always, they are put in order based on how they did yesterday. She's from Seoul, currently lives in Seoul.
首先，起步阶段呢会相对比较稳定，考验的是选手的技术技巧。那更多的往上攀登，因为路线很长，对体能的提升要求很大，所以难度比赛更多的考验的是耐力。
Best result so far today on the senior circuit for the IFSC is a 19th place for Kim Seong-hyun. That was at Mokpo, our home turf in Korea back in 2013. Fall here as we push into the roof section from Wang Pingha.
大家也看到我们今天的难度线路越到上面点就越小，造型
Next athlete out on the male wall will be Luc Tillmans of Belgium, another name that we know quite well, despite his early age, only 19 years old in Freedom. World ranked 18th at the present moment in time. Fantastic set of results from the European Youth Cups and Championships. Over the past several years, several gold medals there. He has been a youth champion before in Youth A League category, European Youth Championship in France back in 2012. Plenty of gold medals in the European Youth Cups as well. He'll be emerging in a moment. While we are getting started and settling in here, the best thing to do is to introduce our co-commons that will be with us throughout today. Ramone's chief coach, and that is Tony Roy. Tony, how are you?
Hello to everybody, good morning. And first of all, sorry for my English, I try to do my best. And welcome to this event.
So we've just seen our first male athlete emerge here, and Loic is just getting started. From what you've seen so far of this route, what are we expecting from this for the men?
We will see only one climber try, and we will see with the best climbers how is the route. Looks like really interesting. And the other way is the first competition of the season in lead, and we don't know how is the level of the climbers, and we will see if the same climbers than last year are in the same level or some new climber arrive really strong. I think it can be really interesting this event.
So first cup of the year, first time these guys have been back together competing on a lead wall here in Haiyang. In the downtime in between the end of last year and the start of this one, from yourself and working with Ramone, what are the kind of things that you get up to? What do you do in the downtime?
Sorry, fault, and we are watching this.
Well, unfortunately, an early fall there for Loic Timmermans. Didn't quite make it up towards the rest spot on there. He's going to be very, very disappointed with that one. He's been back in isolation warming up quite a while for this. I've seen him around the competition grounds over the past few days. Trying to stay in shape as much as possible, warming up for the start of this year. I saw him going for a run yesterday. Very much in peak physical form. He's going to be disappointed with an early fall like that at this stage. At the moment, working here now with our next female athlete. And that is Sharon Heng. And we welcome Kim Jabi of Korea now next out for the men. Jabi had a bit of a mixed few years over the past couple of years. 27 years old. Came 18th at Valence just recently. The end of last year, culmination of the 2013 season. Placed third at the Asian Continental Championship in Tehran in 2013. And second in the bouldering at that same competition there as well. We've seen him do relatively well at bouldering. We saw him in the final at Chongqing 2 years ago, 2012. Now the proud owner of his own gym in Seoul. So are we expecting to see a bit of a risky move here? Is that what caught Loic a few moments ago, Tony, or is it just a basic mistake?
No, I don't know. We will see with the next climbers, but from the observation, I asked to, especially Ramon, because it's my climber, but they said me that the beginning of the route is, looks like a little bit tense and with a strange move. I don't know, we will see if it had been a mistake of, look, maybe it's not only a mistake, can be not all hard crooks, but it's strange. They don't know exactly, the athletes, just after the observation, said that they don't know exactly how is the route. It's not easy to decide how is the best way, because there are some options, or looks like some options. If you don't take the correct way, then can happen these kind of things.
So it looks like we've got a tricky early transition move here onto the yellow hemisphere higher up as you pass the banana. So we could see some, well, we already have two. We could definitely see some early falls here because it's a little bit misleading. There's a few ways of getting around it.
Maybe it can be then the weather is really wet and the holes can be a little bit slippery. I don't know if it's only the move or the conditions are not the best because the weather is not really dry. All has influence in this kind of things, especially if the holes are not really dry. Because we are close to the sea. And the base exploded.
So next up here on the women's lead wall at the moment, we have Kim Min-sun, 75. You can see her here making that transition over onto the next green pyramid that's cost some of our athletes earlier on for the women's. Current results as they stand at the moment, we're seeing a high point of 24 plus from Wang Qingha in the men's. And at the moment, the high point for the women's is Kim Seung-hun with a height of 16. I think we've just seen that surpassed here at the moment by Kim Min-sun. Resting on the pocket here, trying to get this next clip in before she pushes over to the left-hand side. This is looking good at the moment as well for our male athlete. On the right-hand side of your screen at the moment, which is Yoon Seung-young. Unfortunately, a fall here for Kim Min-sun, but I believe that is the new high point for the women's wall here. So Yoon Seung-young on that one made it past that point that we've seen some problems with Loic Timmermans. He was a little bit higher up here, which was the move that brought him down, which was the problem here.
I don't know, maybe the route setters want to do a route interesting from the beginning, not like sometimes and at the beginning it's really easy and then only because it's not only a mistake of one climber, because the first one falls early, and we will see when the theoretically strong climbers arrive if it's really hard or not. But some of these climbers are as experienced, like Jadi or especially Korean team. They have a really good team, but strong. And two of them fall here. No.
Our next female athlete that we have here coming out now is Abdul Roma Sarifa of Indonesia. Number 43, you can see here, just starting on the women's route. Currently with a hand on the 7th hold here. Taking your time, crossing the feet over. Just seen a new high point on the women's wall as well. It's quite a big move, that push up onto the hemisphere.
Yeah, it's a long move. I don't know how is the hold. The next one maybe is good because here nobody falls. But for sure it's beginning with a lot of tension. It's not possible to them. Pay attention with the Chinese team because they have no experience to assist in national events. I don't know exactly why, but yesterday we can see the good competition. They have a strong climbers. It can be really interesting than them start to go habitually to the World Cups, because for sure they can have a strong team in Europe.
Yeah, we saw that yesterday throughout the bouldering. Quite a few of them pushing towards potential places in the finals or high semis. We've got Marzadar on the wall here at the moment, moving into the roof. This is what cost one of our climbers a little bit earlier on, Wang Ping Ha, around 24 plus. If you are new to the sport, each of these holds are numbered. The climbers are trying to get as high on the wall as they possibly can. The plus movement that is sometimes added to the score, so a 24 plus, shows positive movement past a hold. So if you've managed to get onto the 24th hold and you're reaching for the 25th, that's showing positive movement towards the next hold, but not control of the next hold. And that can give you a plus score, which just helps us split the climbers a little bit more. Back with our next female Chinese athlete here now, Ringping Lamu. So this transition into the roof is looking like another tricky point here as well. is it often a thing that shifting from on an incline, a relative incline, into a roof is a very hard move?
Looks like a long move. I don't know if there's something else, but in this point when the Chinese fall, looks like really long move. We will see. But like I said before, look, the first positions are for Chinese climbers. Some climbers with experience like Jabi or the Belgium are climbers with a lot of experience in World Cup and fall down than Chinese.
Next up is Elan Jonas McRae of Canada, one of our 2 Canadian athletes in the men's that's here to compete. The other one, of course, being Sean McCall, that we'll see a little bit later on this evening, well, this afternoon, I should say. Number 14, you can see here on the far right-hand side of the women's wall is Renqing Lamu. She's 23 years old, born in Tibet, world rank 36th. Competes in the speed and the bouldering as well as lead, an all-round athlete here. Highest results so far to date was a gold medal at the women's bouldering on the Asian Continental Championships in Tehran last year. We have an Asian Continental Champion on the wall here. In terms of the IFSC World Cups, 14th place at Xining back in 2012, 14th place at Haiyang, 20th at the bouldering and speed event we had in Chongqing just recently. And again, we're seeing a tricky point here from the female athletes around that collection of pyramids on the left-hand side, that traverse, diagonal traverse there, costing quite a few of our athletes their climbs. Elan matching here on the blue, pulling up to clip in. Up with the right hand now. Trying to get a better position here to move up for the next hole, get in towards the roof. Tony, should he have gone up with the left then? There was another black hole just before the roof. And where he was, he had the left hand on the lower black. Should he have gone up with the left a little bit more?
Probably not. I don't know, because from here we can know how is the hole exactly. But looks like the previous hole to take under, and then the move is better to jump to the like the Canadian did, but
just a little short.
Yeah, for sure. This beginning of the route is not easy and totally uncomfortable for them, with a long move and very dynamic move. It's interesting.
Yoshimura Mo, 17 years old, next on the wall, 16th place at Haiyang last year, part of our Asia tour, just after Haiyang, exactly where we are now a year ago. This year at Haiyang, all 3 disciplines are present. Moment here before pushing up with the right hand to take this pyramid just ahead of her. Xu Haibin, China next up to start on the male semi-final wall here. No athlete so far moving past the roof on the men's. Yoshimura Mo up with the left hand. Hello to all of you wherever you're joining us from around the world at the moment, whether it's crazy late at night or crazy early in the morning. If you're not in Asia, Let us know where you're joining us from and who you're rooting for here. You can get in touch with us using the hashtag IFSCWC. Shimura on this traverse now. Tricky section ahead of her, pushing up through these pyramids. Haiyang managing to get up to the hemisphere and past that point. At the rate of other athletes coming back behind the wall, some of the athletes in isolation are possibly aware by now that there's clearly a tricky section early on. They're expecting to spend more of the time that they're allowed. The allotted time here is 8 minutes for these athletes to try and complete this route of the semi-finals. And with some of them coming back after a minute or so, it'll probably be relatively clear to some of the athletes waiting in isolation that there is a tricky section earlier on. So some of these athletes now are just being a little bit more careful. Of course, even the most careful climbers can't always anticipate every move, and here Haiyang unfortunately just not managing to make that next reach up with the left hand. That was the push up there from the 19th hole to the 20th that he was going for.
Okay, thank you. 好，同时，男女选手队都结束了这一次的方法，速度很快啊。
So 43 holds for the top here on these routes. A few moments ago, we had a high point on the men's of around 24 plus.
Welcome Kim from Korea.
You can see there the upper section of the wall where the tops are. Women's route on the left-hand side, men's route on the right. Kim Hong-gil now for Korea, number 80, just starting off on the men's lead. We'll wait for our next female athlete to emerge. Kim is 20 years old, world rank 66th, came 25th at Mokpo in 2013. Highest results so far to date in the male juniors lead category at the Asia Youth Championships in Hamadan in 2012. He took the gold medal there. Another Asian youth champion. In terms of how he's got on at the IFSC over the past few years, in the male juniors lead, World Youth Championships in Canada last year, he came 17th there. Also 26th at Mokpo on the senior circuit in 2012 as well. Before that, Chungcheon in Korea in 2010, he came 35th. It's been around for a while now then, just passing out of the World Youth categories. And next up for the women here, Tsukasa, Mizuguchi Tsukasa of Japan. This is the move that just a moment ago cost previous athlete his climb. We lost Haiyang. And that move just there that he's managed to take here. Kim Hong-gil with a moment here just to grab the next clip. Stretching out for a second. So a relatively positive hold here for these athletes to be able to have a moment to shake out before then attempting to push for the roof. 21st and 22nd hold there, up to the 23rd. Trying to inch that leg up a little bit more before making this move. It looks like there's two holds pushed together there on the roof on this side of the next move. Is it going to be a very much an accuracy thing of getting the fingers in? I think you have to be accurate making that move.
From here looks like that one hole is not bad, but another one just close. The root setters did do this for the hole had not really good and to be more difficult. But like before you asked me, this move is like they try, it looks like, but it's really long move, and if you took a little bit just before the jam, it's really hard to do. You need to have a lot of confidence and try to do 10%.
I know we haven't seen the entirety of the route yet, we haven't seen all of it, but looking at what we've seen so far, would you give a rough estimate as to grade?
Sorry?
Looking at the route so far, what would you think that the grade would be?
About the grade, I think this is not important. The conditions are not great. This is the route and you must do. Don't think about if it's 7A or 9A. It's the same. You must do this route. It's the same for all and nothing else.
Would you say it's different because of the timing and that they're aware of that, or is it just very, very different to what you'd normally grade?
Yeah, when you climb in competition, it's totally different than when you climb on rock. It's totally impossible to compare. It's true that everyone tries to compare and has some reference about the grade. But normally the competitions, or in a wall normally, routes are more physically than in a rock, for example. In a roll you have not time, you can relax in every hole if you want. Here you have time, you cannot stay 2 hours in the same place and you must do fast. And the route setters try to do that, they are not relaxed points, and this is better for the spectators because during the competition if some climber stay 2 minutes in the same point, it's really boring.
It becomes slow, yeah. So hopefully that answers some questions that are coming in for us there, asking about the gradings of the routes. We have Mario Lechner and Barbara Bakker on the wall here. Barbara with a big move, lost the feet there for a moment. Bit of a mistake there. There were some footholds a little bit lower down on the left-hand side that it looked like as she was trying to go for them, she lost the right footing. Swung out from the wall there and just couldn't quite hold it. Mario looking good here though. Another one of the athletes that you'd say is quite experienced. Mario Lechner, he's been around the circuit for a while.
Yeah, probably this guy is the first. Which one we can see how is the route exactly for the favorites. Because he competed for a long time. He started when he was really young. We can see that maybe it's really hard the route.
So some people just giving us some shout outs here to Lady Veterinary saying Go Hongil, good morning from South Korea. Moika's back, cheering for Mina Markovic and Dominik Skofic. Since they're Slovenian, like you, also cheering for Sean McCall, who'll be out a little bit later on. Good effort there from Mario Lechner. Cho Haimi now for Korea, coming out onto the female semi-final route. We get ready to welcome our next male athlete as well. It's looking like they're coming out in teams at the moment. We've got another Korean athlete coming out here as well. That's Park Yuan. 25 years old from Goyang. Fourth at the Asian Continental Championships in Tehran. That was in 2013. That was in the bouldering category there, though.
来比这个国际性的大赛，可见他们可能在10来岁就开始比国内的比赛，在国内已经有过至少是4、5年的运动生涯，才会有机会争夺到来比拼世界杯的机会。所以这就是他们一生的爱好、一生的兴趣一样伴随他们。有很多的选手。
So our next 2 athletes here working away.
训练比赛到30多岁退役，然后退居2线，可以去做教练啊，去做裁判员啊、地勤员之类的工作。
So park here on the hemisphere before moving into the second midsection before the roof. Cho Hai-mi resting on the banana a little bit lower down. Off with the right here. Took that next move relatively dynamic there. Got a heel hook, contemplating one, switching onto the other side with the left now instead. This is the next big move here. Push up into the roof. A little bit more static by getting the feet over to the right-hand side, to the left-hand side, and then walking them over to the right, now that he's into the roof. This is looking good for him at the moment. To the next foothold. And for a toe hook here. He's got a clip just ahead of him, so he's going to have to take some time to clip in. Momentarily, he's gone for a heel hook on the right. Let's see if he takes the moment now to do it. Slightly better hold there he's got to clip in from. Yuan here, halfway through the roof section, approaching the lip and the final head wall here. Contemplating how to make these next few moves and get round onto the next section of the wall. Quite a while to rest there. Heel hook with the left and up onto the final volume of the roof. Some applause from the crowd as he goes to that next frimpy hold there. Big move next up. Positive movement onto that one, but that was a good effort there. Very, very good effort from Park Ji-won of Korea. He should be pleased with that. Next up, Mathilde Bruman of Belgium. Seen her quite a bit before over the past few years. She's 25 years old. Came 10th at Mokpo last year, 9th at Perm, 9th at Imst, 6th at Chamonix, 6th at Mokpo, 8th at Imst in 2012. So making finals here. 6th at Barcelona back in 2011, 4th at Kran in 2011, and 2nd at Purs in 2010. Her last medal for the IFSC. That was before several gold medals on the IFSC European Youth Series through the years 2008. She are now making a start in the female semi-final group here. Slow and steady to start here, Mathilde. Taking your time about getting up towards the banana.
Ladies and gentlemen, let's welcome Kim Han-woo from Korea. Welcome you.
Next up for the men here, a teammate of Park Ji-won is Kim Han-woo. See whether he can replicate Park Ji-won's performance from a few moments ago. Kim Han-woo of Korea now starting off on the men's wall, 18 years old, Gwangju. 20th at Mokpo in 2013, 27th at Pers. So just missed out on the semi-finals at Pers in 2013. Has also competed in the men's speed events before, came 18th at the World Cup in Mokpo in the speed there, 6th on the male juniors lead World Youth Championships in Canada last year as well. But another one that's been an Asia Youth Champion from Singapore back in 2011 in the male Youth A lead category. Still taking her time here. So at the moment, Park Ji-won holding the high point here on the men's wall, 32 plus the score to beat. That's just before the lift, moving on to the final roof. Behind him, we have Mazida and Wang Kyung-ha with 24 pluses. Both of them around the same move. Kim Han-woo here now for Korea, seeing if he can replicate what Park Ji-won has just accomplished. Mathilde, very, very slow start here from her. Tony, when you are training with Ramone, do you use timing at all? Do you ever time him and make sure that he's within the 8 minutes? How much do you implement that into training?
First of all, me, I'm not a trainer of him. I'm only the team manager and coach of the Spanish team, but not really coach. I don't coach the climbers. But for sure, we talk with them, and they must train and change a little bit, especially climbers like Ramon, who compete for a long time, and years ago was totally different because the time was not really important than now. But especially for his fall.
Unfortunately, a fall after making the move into the roof there.
In this case, has been a problem with the foot. About we are saying for the style, is not his best quality. That's true because he's short and they need to do different things sometimes. They try to change a little bit, but first of all, the most important is focus in to do the route, and then we will see the timing. It's most important to arrive to the top and find fast.
So an early fall here from Mathilde Brumang, moving over into those pyramids as well from the women. None of the female athletes managing to make it up into that increased incline section. Not really a roof, almost a roof, wanting to be a roof. Not so much as it is on the men's wall here. Quite a few early falls. Back down on the ground now. Our next athlete for Japan out now on the men's wall, 69, Shimizu Hiroto. Making a start here, 18 years old from Osaka. Only singular result from him over the past few years. Back in 2012 at the IFSC World Youth Championship. In the male Youth A lead, he came 6th. Managed to make finals there a couple of years ago. So wish him all the best as he gets started here on the wall.
Question about the speed, my own opinion, but if we need to check the timing in the in the league competition. This is a bit my own opinion. It's a mistake of the route setters because in 3 routes you have the qualis, semis, and final. So we need to check the timing of the world is not perfect speed, but I agree that it's important for spectators shows that we don't really have super finals to be a long show more than standard. This is an option, but it's only an option if the other way, the normal way, not fine.
So the way that it works, for those of you back at home that are a bit confused about us talking about the time here at the moment, they get 8 minutes on the wall to try and complete these routes. Now they go to the timing after countback. So you've got the qualifying round, you've got the semi-finals, and then the final results. If 2 athletes are tied in the finals, we go back to the semi-finals and see which of them was better than the other or got the high point out of the 2 of them. If they're still tied on the semi-finals, we go back to qualifications, look at how they did there, and then if they're still tied then, so it's a very last case scenario here, then we go into the timing and see which of them was the faster athlete there. So that's what Tony was talking about a few moments ago. As you can see here on the wall at the moment though, we've got Shimizu Hiroto around about the same point that we saw Park Ji-wan at earlier on. Park was a few more moves from this, heading towards that lip and onto the head wall. Hiroto is now going to try and get up towards that point, hopefully get this clip in. Big reach from him here, a lot of tension, bit too quick. Unfortunately for him, Alizé Dufresne here now for France on the women's wall. Moving through that pyramid section that just cost Mathilde Romain her climb. 27 years old, Alizé came 8th at the Rockmaster in 2012, so it's been a while since we've seen her on the circuit. It's nice to have her back with us. She came 9th at Cran back in 2011, 10th at Barcelona in 2011, and 13th at Briançon in the lead in 2012. 3rd place at the European Championships in Innsbruck in Austria, 2010. The last gold medal back in the women's bouldering event at the Rockmaster in Arco in 2009. Alizé, first athlete you've seen now into this roof section, the semi-roof section on the women's wall, the increased incline here. Trying to make this traverse. A couple of powerful moves ahead of her here before she's into it. Another tricky section when she's over the lip. And Manuel Roman now next up for France on the wall. Somebody who's very, very experienced as a lead climber here now on the men's route. Yeah,
now we can see the girl fall, but there were 2 strong climbers from French team, both with a lot of experience in route, in rock. Climbed for a long time. It's one of the best. Probably now we can check how is exactly the route for the favorites.
So worth paying attention to now as we get underway with Manuel Roman. You'd expect to see him do well here, so based on his performance we'll get to gauge the route itself, the real crux on the wall. Relatively fluid here at the moment. As soon as he's securing the next foot, he's up with the next hand, not taking much time at all to rest here. It is something that athletes have to be aware of. If they're spending more time resting, they can essentially tire themselves out if they're spending too long there. Manuel will probably have already found the point on the wall, or at least from the ground, have some idea of what point on the wall he wants to take a rest if he's going to need one at that point. This is a big move here now. Again, he's getting his feet over to the left, which allows him to take that next move a little bit more static. to get him into the route before moving that foot back across to the right-hand side, engaging the next section of the route. So he'll probably have some idea of where he's going to take a rest here. So a miscalculation or a tricky move? A mistake?
Yeah, probably mistake. The other climbers did a different way. The result is better than him, but it means that this route is really, really hard. Not easy to reach and hard too. Maybe it can be a little bit lottery in the final.
Yeah. So we could see some interesting results as we go towards our final here. Looking like an exciting men's route. Very difficult to read. Not only difficult to read, but also hard. Nicky van Bergen here now for the Netherlands. Unfortunately, again, that transition into the pyramid section on the women's proving a tricky point here on the wall for them. Tony, looking at the women's, I know that we're focusing on the men's at the moment, but to look at the women's, Alizé Dufresne managed to get into the roof section, but are we seeing a similar thing? It's very difficult for the women as well as the men.
Yeah, the kind of route looks like similar to men. Some girls of the favorites of habitually in the semi-finals and someone in the finals fall less than the middle of the route, and it means that the route is really hard. It's not easy. The style can be the same. Maybe it's more easy to read, but really hard route.
Passbox asking how many climbers go through to the final. From this we'll take 16 all in all, but that's 8 men and 8 women managing to make it through into the final. On your screens right now, guys, are the current standings. This is the men's semi-final list at the moment. Park Ji-won making the high point for us at the moment with a 32 plus as the point to beat currently. And as you can see, some of our other people that we'd expect to do exceptionally well here. Mario Lechner, very frequent competitor. Actually, Mazidar put in quite a good performance throughout last year's League World Cups, but then also we've just had Manuel Ramon out, falling earlier, so it's looking like we're competing with some really tricky routes here. In the women's at the moment then, Alizé Dufresne of France, 30 plus, that's the point to beat here. Behind her then Yoshimura Moe with 22.5 plus. So it's looking like we've got some points, some midpoint holds here on the wall. Nicky van Bergen then with 21 plus, and then these moves you can see just below here as we go around, anywhere from 17 to 18, 19. That sequence there around the pyramids is the one that's costing a lot of these female athletes, which is relatively low on the route. It's just beneath halfway. So at the moment, Alizé Dufresne is one of the only athletes here that's managing to push up into that upper section of the wall. It's putting her in a good stead at the moment. Nearly 10 points difference between Yoshimura Moe. Hopefully that'll give her a shot at the final. We'll wait to find out in a few moments' time. You're not missing anything at the moment, guys. We've hit around about that halfway point, so the routes are currently being cleaned. Got the route setting team up on the wall. A couple of rushes just making a bit of time for clean up here. So I want to return to the question I asked you at the very beginning, which is what has Ramone and yourself and the team been doing in the time at the end of last year to now?
Well, it depends of the climber, but normally the standard is just after the end of the season, especially in Spain. They try to climb on rock, the hard route, because they have been in a high level for the competitions, and then the weather in Spain is the best because it's not really hot and the conditions are better.
You mean towards the end of the year because it's cooler?
Yeah. And then they enjoy climbing on rock, then stop, depends on the climber more or less, or something like this. And then at the beginning of the year, around February, start to train quietly and prepare the season. So in Spain we have especially lead, the Spanish Cup, and Spanish Championship is at the beginning of the season. That's good for me too because I can see the climbers level in the new season, and there are some new climbers interesting to add to the team. And for them it's really good because they start to be in the situation of competition. For a month, for example, is not as important as World Cup, for sure, but they warm up to the situation of competition, the tension, the nervous, and that's good training for them for that World Cup.
Do you have a high turnout for the local competitions in Spain? Is it quite popular to see a lot of people coming down to your Spanish championships?
Unfortunately, last time's not too much. In youth, it's incredible. We have a lot of youth climbers who compete in a Spanish Cup or championships. But in senior, last years, every time we have less climbers. I don't know why exactly. We try to change for the next season because it's interesting to be more climbers. Maybe one of the problems is if we have climbers like Ramon or Victor or really strong climbers who usually compete in World Cup or Marco Rubes. The new climbers or not as strong climbers than them to the competitions because they know that it's not possible to do nothing because they are the best climbers of the world in our competitions. This is one thing, and the other thing is we are really lucky because we have one of the best places for climbing rock, conditions about rock, about the quantity and quality of the routes. And this is good for one side, but for the other side, it's not really interesting because a lot of people prefer climbing rock than only climb on competition. I think that's interesting combine both because competition is a good training for then when you go on rock, not only physically, because this for sure too, but about mentality, about know your own body, your feeling. This is really, really important. In competition, the session always arrives to the maximum expression, and then you can use this when you try 198 or on your level, the route that you want to try.
So it's good to combine the two, to have the grounding in competitions and then apply that mentality to being out on rock.
I think yes, and if you check, you can see that for sure there are some exceptions, but the best climbers in the world and in the history, climbers like Vicky, like Yuji, like Sharma, climbers who climb a lot on rock, had been some experience or a lot of experience in competitions.
Yeah. It's nice that we're seeing this year as well Adam Ondra, who's gone away for a while and worked on projects on rock, now coming back into the competitions as well. So just a few moments now, guys. It's looking like our resetting team are just getting down from the wall, and we should be getting ready with our next set of climbers here. The next stage of the semi-finals for our lead World Cup here in Haiyang. We're going to be going almost immediately into the speed competition here as well, our speed finals that was postponed from yesterday due to some technical issues. Hopefully those will have been fixed and today we'll be able to run smoothly. We've got some interviews, as I was mentioning a few moments ago. Adam Ondra has now returned to the lead season here after a first little tester run in Valence last year, and after doing a couple of bouldering comps this year as well in Innsbruck. He's now coming back into the lead fray of competition climbing. We had a chat with him a couple of days ago, so we're going to have a couple of nice little features to show you later on. Also a catch up with Jakob Schubert about his injury on his finger, and a chat also with Alexander Rudzinska about speed climbers here that we're going to see a little bit later on. So plenty more to look forward to. We're going to see that a little bit later on. Another female athlete that we watch out for now as we move through the rest of this competition. We are getting to that stage of the competition where we're going to see some of the best athletes coming out now, some of the highest ranked athletes coming out. One of them now on the women's wall is Katharina Posch of Austria. About to push up and around this tricky pyramid section here. And in a few minutes' time, we'll welcome our next male athlete here as well, and that is Akito Matsushima for Japan, down on the ground. We're going to see him start in just a few moments' time.
没错，在上个月举行的日本国内的锦标赛，也一举获得了他们日本国内的难度赛的冠军。
Katarina here.
非常有实力。没错，同样那个太田里沙女子运动员也获得了日本国内的锦标赛冠军，今天也来到我们的赛场啊，等一会儿我也会看到女子方面的精彩表现。哇，对，我们的女子现在正在进行比赛的凯瑟琳娜呢。
And here he is now around the blue banana, moving up towards that first hemisphere here. Keep your eye for the moment on Katarina, who is now moving into this tricky section. We would expect to see her do well here. Also her teammate Metalina Roek coming a little bit later on. Another one to watch out for before we get into the real big guys that we're waiting for here at this competition. Katarina, even at such an early age as she is at the moment, we've seen her at quite a few youth competitions over the past few years. Definitely making a name for herself on the senior circuit as well. Akito now pushing up towards the roof here. Both athletes approaching potential crux points on the wall here that we've seen cost quite a few athletes their climbs. Confident there, moving up into the next hold.
这位年轻经验非常的丰富啊，多次来我们中国比赛。好的，
Trying to figure out where that heel's going on the right foot there. That's good, he's took it with his hand now. He's going to need to clip in here. Katarina approaching the point that we saw at least in the phrase. Moving through a little bit earlier. Still not quite at the high point yet though. Quite a few moves yet to come here before surpassing Alizi.
好的，不知道大家注意观看到没有？我们女子运动员刚才最高的位置，哇！现在两位都在进行着突破。
Akito looking strong here. He's got a clip before he moves up ahead. Big move. He's going to need to find a position to clip in here. Trying to sort out his feet. Oh, moving on to the next one. I would have expected him to have clipped in then on the move just prior to moving on to the pyramid. There's a little pocket on the right-hand side of that pyramid. It seemed to be that he slapped up with the left hand and then wasn't quite sure what to do with his feet to be able to secure himself enough to get that clip and then move on ahead of it. Very strict rulings about clipping for the safety of the athletes here as well. It seemed like he overreached himself for a second there. Got himself into a little bit of trouble. And again for Katharina Posch here, very, very good effort. Up towards the upper section here. No tops as of yet, guys, here in Haiyang 2014. Are you enjoying the setting? Do you think the setting is good here?
Yeah, looks like interesting.
第二站呢是在我们的山东海洋，第3站将会在我们的江苏吴江，所以说也希望我们的各位观众朋友们每年都来到我们山东海洋，观看我们山东海洋站的攀岩世界杯。
We will see definitely at the end of the competition, but it's true that from the beginning of the
倒数第14位运动员都取得新的高度，是关于第15位。
Ladies and gentlemen, let's welcome the Semifinal house of from Italy. Welcome you.
首先欢迎下一位铃木虎，来自于意大利的斯蒂法诺。
Also welcome Evgenia Magdalene from Russia.
But for sure that for the spectators it's interesting because and now the Italian guy Stefano start. We will see if yesterday's final
How it's affected him.
Yeah.
We saw Stefano Gijón here in the final for the bouldering yesterday. His first real push at an IFSC boulder comp. I saw him yesterday at the hotel after the competition, and he said that was really, really hard. I said, yeah, but everybody found it hard. You can't treat that as, don't get put off by it. I'd like to see more and more athletes doing multi-discipline. I think it's a good thing.
Yeah, sure, especially between boulder and lead.
Yeah,
I think that the last time, especially in lead, the style of the root setting and the kind of the style of the move are more similar than boulder ones. And for sure it's interesting to combine, maybe not totally, but yes, assisting to someone and to have more experience in exchange move, because for example in the main roof, this one, the roof, you have experience in a boulder can be easy for you.
So this roof section you're saying is looking very boulder-like?
Yeah, a little bit.
What about training for your guys back home and on your team? Does Ramone or do any of your team do also boulder training, a lot of it?
Yeah, for sure they train both. If you want to compete in lead, you must train for sure endurance, but more than endurance it's important try to do hard move alone and with strange things, because in the route not this, especially now the flow was totally different, was more with all respect, but it was more easy to move. And now there are strange things, and yeah, for me it's totally necessary to train both. And the other thing, like I said before, I think it's really, really interesting if the climbers climb on rock, because rock gives to the climber a lot of technical, a lot of options, because every route is totally different than the other. You climb in different kinds of rock, different styles. You have more experience and your body knows more moves. And then when you find some problem in the competition, you have some solutions or some new or different solutions to.
So the diversity and doing different disciplines, working on different setups of rock, different types of rock, different climbs, the more that you can do different types of things, obviously the more you've covered every possible scenario.
Yeah.
Stefano taking the moment here. This looks like we found a potential rest spot here for the athletes. They're clipping in once they make the big black hole and then taking some time to shake out.
Yeah, for sure, it's one of the points where the climbers can stop a little bit and relax.
Stefano's just moved up past the 29th hold here at the moment. He's on to the 30th now. He's got a tough couple of points coming ahead of him. Let's see what he does with this clip here. He's got that little pocket now on the right-hand side. Not overly comfortable, but is he going to clip from here? Yes, he is, and this is the thing that we saw from one of the earlier athletes. Quite a few of them have pushed past that clip onto the next move, this one now, and they've got themselves into a bit of a tricky situation with how they're going to clip from that point. Stefano's got the clip in already, so he doesn't have to worry about it now as he pushes up and takes the high point here. That clip is now behind him. Gijón Malamud moving into the tough section on the increased incline here as well. Stefano still pushing here. Got a clip coming up ahead of him. Big move. Unfortunately, not managing to hold on at that point, but a very, very strong effort there from the Italian athlete Stefano Ghisolfi, showing us how to get over the lip and into the upper section of the wall here. Evgeny are currently on the 29th hold. Total of 43 here on this route for the women. Our holes have all been around the 32nd up to the 33rd here on the women. He's approaching that point now. Getting ready to welcome our next male athlete also.
Ladies and gentlemen, let's welcome Magnus Midboy.
Where you can see, unfortunately we lose Gijón Malamud there for a moment, but where you can see the top sticker at the very top of the wall there, that's not actually where they've got to get to. It's actually just to the right of that there. You can see there's two green holes towards the top. Welcome our next athlete, Magnus Midboy. Another exceptionally strong climber, very high power ratio. From Norway here, Magnus Midboy making the start. Multiple Norwegian champion. Over a several-year period. Also another one with a lot of experience on climbing on the IFSC World Cup circuit in lead. We expect to see something good here from Magnus.
是的，继续欢迎女子的第16位运动员060号，来自日本队的田岛爱佳，是女子运动员里面年龄最小的一位。
Decisive for Japan coming out now, number 60, just making her start as well. See her in a few moments' time. Here with Magnus. His sister, also a climber, Hannah Midboy. Saw her at the Tierra Boulder Battle last year, and she's also started to make a push for the IFSC Boulder World Cup. We saw her in Grindelwald this year. Here.
很快就到了非常复杂的造型区、无垠区。
Relatively big move here there from Magnus. Very early fall, unfortunately, for Tajima Akia. We saw them earlier on as well. Qualified relatively high, to be honest. She was in the upper section. But just to give you some perspective, she is only 15 years old, so in terms of experience, she hasn't all that much, although she is a World Youth Champion at the moment in the female Youth B League category from Central Saanich in Canada. That was last year. She also came second the year before that in Singapore. The youth champs there as well. Big point here now. Again, another one who's already got that clip in. So he doesn't have to worry about it moving up from now. Trying to heel hook here around that pocket. That was possibly a bad move there. You think the heel might have been a bit of a mistake there, Tony? The heel hook he was going for on the right. You think that was a mistake to put the heel there?
No, probably not. The problem had been the don't slip before the big throw. And then...
Oh yeah, he actually didn't get the clip. I can see that now. It looked to me like he'd already got that clip on there, but he hadn't.
Probably the normal option is this, or maybe with the put in the small just in the volume. But for sure, probably it's hard to flip. But up to this point, looks like hard to flip. Stefano did perfect, and his option to jump directly to the big one is a good option. We will see the next one. What they say.
Here we have Charlotte Durif as well, of France, starting her climb here. We're into the upper section now. These are the athletes we would expect to see do well here in this competition. Into the final 10 now to qualify from yesterday. Durif, another one with quite a bit of experience despite a relatively early age as well, 23 years old. World ranked 25th at the moment. She came 5th at Briançon last year, 5th at Chamonix last year, 7th at Zinning in 2012, and 5th at the World Championships in Paris in 2012 as well. Her best results so far to date were a gold medal at Chamonix in 2010 and also a bronze medal at Briançon in 2012. Multiple gold medals in the Female Junior League European Youth Series and World Youth Championships in Valence in 2009. She took the gold medal there. World Youth Champion here now, Charlotte Durif on the wall.
Charlotte Durif, other French and strong climber who last season got a little bit. They are here again competing, and it looks like with a high level again.
We've seen quite a lot of strapping going on. For instance, Charlotte on the inner thigh on her leg there has quite a bit of strapping tape there, and we also saw earlier on as well from Catalina Posch, strapping on the shoulder around the wrists. Do you use it yourself for the team, and what kind of benefits does it offer?
No, we use it, yeah, for sure. Help, especially for the... It's definitely better for me, but for sure it helps, especially in the recuperation and... We use most this after competition, not during the competition. I don't try personally if it helps or not. For sure, something, not for nothing else.
Miguel Chernikov here now as well, another one with quite a lot of experience. Miguel moving up through the roof here. Bit of a shake going on in the right leg at the moment. Trying to sort out that heel hook. Charlotte Durif resting here. And hand jam hold on the women's route. Here now. Expect to see him clipping at some point soon. No, straight up. Actually caught the clip with his hand there as he pushed up for that next hold. Shenikov back on the ground. We're definitely seeing some tough routes here today. At the moment, we're currently seeing Katarina Posch with a high point here of 33 plus on the women's. Evgenia Malamed with 32 plus. Alize Bufraise with 30 plus. Those are your top three in the women's. In the men's, Stefano Gazolfi still holding the high point of 36 plus. Magnus Midbo in second with 33 plus, and Matsushima Akito in third with also with a 33 plus. To count back the division there between Magnus and himself, showing you the difference between a second and a third place. Charlotte Durif at the moment could potentially start to challenge Katarina Posch at this point that she's out on the wall. Looking good here. Oh, unfortunately there, a fall for Charlotte Durif, but a very good attempt. Back down on the ground now, we get ready to welcome our next female athlete out onto the wall. Our next athlete for Japan is out in the men's. We're welcoming Karinaga Ichiro. In a moment's time, Ondra, Lisa coming out for us. Lisa Ondra. Strong performer of recent years, only 21 years old. 19th place at Haiyang. In speed, that was though, and 8th place in the lead in Haiyang, an 8th place in the lead at Mokpo 2013, a 13th place at Briançon 2013, 5th at the Female Juniors Lead World Youth Championship in Singapore back in 2012, where we saw her teammate manage to take that gold, Momoka Oda, who we'll be seeing a little bit later on today on this lead wall. If you want to get in touch with us, either myself or with Tony Roy, who's with us from the Spanish team, you do so by getting in touch with us on the feed on Twitter using the hashtag IFSCWC. Keeping an eye on that as we move through the rest of today. Still got a speed final yet to come for you, and then also after that we have our lead final later on tonight, and then all of the podiums. So you want to see the guys taking their medals from the Bouldering World Cup yesterday, or from the medals that we see being achieved throughout today, stick around for tonight. And the award ceremony still to come. Interviews to come for you later on as well. And also a couple of features after having a chat with some of our climbers over the past couple of days. Karinaga Ichiro here. Into the roof section now. You can see here the step up in standard has been into our last and final 10 athletes to come out and have a go. All of these athletes on the men's managing to make it past that transition into the roof. The new crux for them is moving out of the route.
运动员在攀爬的同时会不停地甩动手臂来进行手部的放松。
Risa already shaking out here.
看的是一个男子黑色点，确实是每名队员休息的一个点。对，这好像就是一个救命的稻草。出言之前必定在这里休息啊。对，好吧。哇，先挂快挂。
Slow and steady for her at the moment. Up with the left hand. Doesn't seem too confident of that next hold. She's got some support from the crowd here. Gamba from both of our athletes. Looking good here as well for Kichiro. Kichiro looking very good here, up with the left, slow and steady. Can't quite make the next move, unfortunately. But a fantastic effort there for that athlete from Japan. Still with Risa on the wall. Mikhail Chernikov now moving up to 4th place with a height of 32 plus after his climb a few moments ago. Charlotte Durif currently now holding the high point. Despite tying with Katarina Posch, due to count back, that 33 plus is now putting her a little bit higher than her. Charlotte Durif currently in 1st place. On your screen now, then you can see the route that these athletes are going to have to take from this point onwards. Just marked out there towards getting up towards the top. Risa is currently at the bottom of that line. She's got to move on a traverse through the roof before then snaking back slowly a little bit later on. A very good effort there from Ichiro. I believe that should put him up in the top mix here. Waiting for these results to update. Next up on the men's lead wall then will be Adam Ondra. For those of you that have been waiting for Adam Ondra to come out, he now emerges from the Czech Republic to start his run on the lead wall here. Now we'd expect, I don't want to jinx anything, to see something spectacular here from Adam. So yeah, we have seen a tie point with Stefano Gazolfi on 36 plus from Korinaga Kichiro of Japan, but due to countback, that's now moving him ahead of Stefano Gazolfi into 1st place. Let's see whether Adam can challenge that now. World renowned for his unusual style, Adam Ondra.
We will see how he's him this season, but for sure he's one of the favorites. He has a personal style. He climbs really, really fast. Sometimes he's like he's not under control, but this is his style. And for sure he's one of the best climbers in the history. He's really young, but he's one of the best now.
So up with the right here. As Tony was saying a few moments ago, moving quite fast. Very, very good effort here from Risa as well. Unfortunately, not grabbing that clip. Didn't feel too confident moving out of the lip there, but a very good effort from her that's going to move her up into the top mix and a possibility of a place in the finals here. See how Adam's going to get on then with this route. Quite a while away from the competition circuit. We were chatting to him recently though in Basque country. He's just done his first 9A on site.
Yeah, it's incredible. I talked with Pachi, who was with him in this day, and he told me that it's one of the incredible things, the most incredible things that he never seen in a climbing event, or not even. It was really, really incredible. He's a real complete climber. He's good in boulder. He wins sometimes in international events, in lead, in boulder, then in rock. It's incredible. I remember him. I know him years ago in a youth championship, and from begin youth, he's really motivated. He loves this sport. He lives for that. It's incredible, his passion for climbing.
Now here we see him managing to clip in on a move that some of the other athletes were not willing to risk at all. He's popped up with the left hand onto the pyramid. Oh, unbelievable. A very early fall. A lot of annoyance there from Adam Ondra. You would expect it. He clearly wasn't expecting that at all. The confidence of the clip before that, reaching up with the left hand, getting the heel hook and smearing it on the volume below to be able to clip in after moving up past the lip, and then that next move up with the right hand costing him that climb. Unfortunately, he's going to be devastated by that there. It might not be enough to see him through to the finals as it stands at the moment. Surprising, Tony, yes?
Yes, for sure. Probably had this a problem with his foot. I don't know, do I think before if what is the best options? I don't know if this one is the best or not with the talent. For sure, it's a totally surprise.
Adam's going to be very disappointed with that. It's a risky position here now as we move through the rest of our athletes. Definitely wasn't expecting that early fall here. Yuka on the wall here then, Kobayashi. For the women, and our next male athlete to come out and join us will be Sean McCall in a few moments' time. Silver medal yesterday in the bouldering. Also competing in the speed, and here now to compete in the lead, Sean McCall for Canada. I know the commander is watching. Time now to cross fingers and hope that Sean can keep a cool head as he moves through this one. He is an exceptionally fast lead climber. Another one, like Tony was saying about Adam, prefers to just really attack the ball, move fast as he progresses. Here you see straight from the off, very quick. Beginning for him, not waiting around at all.
Like with the Italian, we will see if yesterday's final do something here if he's tired or not. But he has a lot of experience in both, and for sure he's one of the favorites to be in the final.
I can tell you now that Adam Ondra's height was a 33 plus, and that's currently put him in third place at the moment, which could be relatively risky considering we still have quite a few people still to come for the men's. We're with Sean McCall now at the moment, and including Sean, we have 7 still to come out and climb. If all of them reach the same height as Adam, Adam will not be making it into the finals. Actually, even if 6 of them make that height, Adam will be out of the top 8, so it's a risky position for him to be in at the moment. The only person as of yet that is secure in their place in the finals is Koranaga Kichiro with the 36 plus, putting him in first place at the moment, and with 7 athletes still to come, that means that he has already earned himself a slot in the finals later on tonight. In the women's, we've now got Risa Ota in the first place position with the 34 plus. Charlotte Durif now dropping into second with the 33 plus, tied with Katarina Posch, which is hand back divided there. So Charlotte Durif in second place and Katarina Posch in third. Kobayashi still on the wall here. Moving to this traverse roof section on the women's roof.
有些运动员在这个地方处理的时候，还要去找那个脚点。从这位运动员加上这位运动员，非常准确的抓握这个支点，漂亮。
Gijón here moving over. Relatively decent rest position. Flipping in before he starts to move again. A good effort from Yuka, but it's looking like we've got a definite crux here on the women's wall. Moving out of that roof. It's that selection of holds, a little cluster there before pushing up into the real upper section of the wall. Gijón here on the underclaim. He's got the pocket now. Is he going to clip here or go up again? He goes up again. Tries a pop there. I believe that's going to give him the 33 plus that Adam just had. But that's now going to put Gijón up into third place and knock Adam down into fourth. As I mentioned earlier, if these athletes all hit that same crux as Adam Ondra, it'll knock Adam out of the finals. Looking like next up for our female athletes here is going to be Anna Verhoeven of Belgium. Very much a hope for Belgium in this competition after the unfortunate situation there for Mathilde Romain and also for Loïc Timmermans. Anak is only 17 years old. A gold medal at the Female Juniors League European Youth Cup in Imst this year and also at the European Youth Championships in Edinburgh. She has at last secured that gold medal at the European Youth Championships, but also very, very good results from the World Cup Series on the lead in the senior category for us on the IFSC as well. 5th place at Valence last year, 5th place at Mokpo last year, 2nd place at the World Youth Championships in Central Saanich in Canada. As I mentioned, she was after that goal for a while. She now finally has that one. World ranked 9th. Already at just 17 years old, a definite hope for Belgium here now. Anna Verhoeven, and also a hope for Slovenia. Domen Skovic.
也获得了我们去年江苏吴江的攀岩世界杯的女子冠军啊，接下来也会出场。
I know that Moika is going to be holding her breath here. Domen comes out onto the wall. Yep, I can confirm that Gijón had the same height there with 33 plus. That's moved him up into 3rd place and knocked Adam down into 4th. See what happens from here on in. Even if Adam had just made one more move ahead of that one, it would have taken him out of this 33 plus point. And the fact that this is a definite crux on the wall moving out of the roof for the men. A lot of athletes getting up onto that pyramid shape, managing to put a guppy on there and then popping up to the next one, giving them the positive movement to get the plus. Skovic, another young athlete with a lot of potential and actually a bit of experience now as well. 20 years old, born in Ljubljana. Plenty of gold medals on the Male Juniors League circuit, the European Youth Cups and also Youth Championships. 4th place on the Seniors IFSC Climbing World Cup in the lead in Briançon last year in France. Domen into the roof here now. Matching here. It's a little bit shaky there, but he's managed to get his hands onto this slightly better hold. Flip from here and then consider what he's going to do through the next sequence. Going up the left hand in a moment. And then up for the pocket that's just ahead of him. Taking her time here, stretching out a bit. Woman resting and shaking out as well. Switching around here. Now, Domen has had a lot of problems over the past year or so with his feet and placement of footholds. We saw it in Perm and at quite a few of the events last year, just minor mistakes with the feet. As an athlete, in terms of when you're working on the wall, a lot of the attention in climbing is of course drawn to the hands and the upper part of the body, but how important are the footholds and using your feet in the right ways on the wall?
Foot is really important on climbing. Don't look like sometimes, but especially when the people start to climb, only want to climb with hands, and foot is same or maybe not same, but it's really, really important foot. He had some problems because he has not experience in the past, but now he has, I don't know how many, but he has a lot of experience. He's in World Cup senior for a few years, and especially he has a lot of strong people in his team, and this is good for him. He has a good coach, and they work really, really good.
Matching now on this next one, I believe it's the 35th hold that he's on at the moment. Anak looking good now as well, but Domen pushing towards the high point here on the wall. Very impressive so far from Skłofic. Up with the left hand, looking good at the moment. Moving those feet up. Can't quite hold it, unfortunately coming down there, but a fantastic effort. And that's going to put him at the very top now. Ahead of Korinaga Kichiro of Japan. Skłofic, very impressive performance. Fantastic from Anak Verhoeven as well there. A new high point for the women, it's looking like at the moment. Both of these athletes pushing their way now into the finals. Our next athletes out for us here now then. Moving into that upper tier of our athletes. Hélène Janicot of France next up for us. And in the men's it'll be Min Kyung-bin. Many with a lot of experience as well. One of the shorter athletes. One of the things that he was saying actually is about his training is that he was talking to us a while ago saying that one of the ways that he trained was to watch videos of Ramane.
Yeah, this is really funny. He explained us that at the beginning he watched a lot of videos about how Ramon climbed, because more or less they have the same size, and he watched a lot Ramon and try to copy some things. Last year he had been in high level. We will see this season, but he's one of the strongest climbers now actually in the World Cup.
Yeah, very much so. Extremely strong athlete, multiple lead finals. We've seen Min in. Hélène Janicot, another one to watch out for as we move through this. Min Kyung-bin, 25 years old from Seoul, world ranked 6th on the lead circuit so far. 5th place at Cran in 2013, 7th at Valence in 2013. 2nd at Mokpo, a silver medal last year, a bronze medal at Perm in Russia. 8th place at Tours, 4th place at Imst. bronze medal at the bouldering Asian Continental Championships as well. The last gold medal on the lead circuit was in Moscow back in 2012 on the IFSC senior circuit. But Min Hyun-bin definitely one to watch out for here on the wall, and also Ellen Janiko as well, very, very young, but extremely talented. We would expect to see some great things from her here. Also world ranked 6th. Some of the highest results so far to date: a 3rd place at Briançon in France last year, a 3rd place at the European Championships in Chamonix last year as well, 4th at Moscow, 5th at Perm, 7th at Purs, 4th at Imst. Took a gold medal back at Briançon in 2012. These athletes are both more than capable of making their way into the final tonight.
我们这边韩国学者经常会跟我们聊到海洋啊，是他的福地。所以有时候运动员在每一个不同的地区、地域、国家比赛，这个状态是非常重要的。好，两位速度很快。
Now into the roof section, one move or so away from his potential rest spot here, if he can secure it. For any of you watching back at home, if you are a shorter climber, he was just saying, Bin, when he was first getting into climbing, watched videos of Ramonate climbing to develop a style similar to him, or at least see how he would deal with and get his head around some of the difficulties of climbing on a route wall when you are a shorter athlete. If you're watching at home now, you should definitely be paying attention to Min Hyun-bin and also to Ramonate, who's coming a little bit later on. Maybe learn some tricks of the trade. Janiko moving out of the roof here. Looking good at the moment. Bin here trying to figure out what he's going to do about getting that clip. He's going for the heel here instead. Up to the 34th hold now, but he's missed the clip here. It's looking like he's not aware of it either. He's going to be capped now from that clip. I'm not quite sure what happened there, but he clearly wasn't paying attention to the clip just below him. Of course, it can get very dangerous if they surpass that point. Climbing a little bit too high from that, the swing down into a lower clip. The amount of weight that lands on it can cause some problems.
所以下来之后，他在跟他的教练交流啊，最后还是要看我们裁判员如何来判罚。
About Min, we will see what the judges decide because he don't clip.
没有了，轻力没有了，所以只能往上爬。
I don't know what is the reference of the option of the judges to decide from which one can be possible to clip.
目前的世界杯排在第5位，这位也是我们昨天在攀石有优秀表现的选手。是的。
So we're waiting for that result to come in for Min Hyun-bin. See what result they're going to give him on that one.
身形条件非常的娇小，这是俄罗斯队员里面的一个。
Next up, our European champion at the moment in lead climbing, Dinara Fakhridinova of Russia. Another one of the shorter athletes. We saw her having some problems with being a shorter athlete during the bouldering.
我们号称俄罗斯的速度军团，是的，是我们中国队最大的。
So the problems that she faced there in the finals last night.
军队服役啊，就号称就相当于我们打篮球、踢足球，我们中国的8-1队一样啊。Okay, ladies and gentlemen, let's welcome
Next up, Gauthier Super of France. We are way into our upper tier of athletes now. After Gauthier finishes here, we have Jakob Schubert coming out, followed by Romain de Grange, followed by Ramane Julien. Pug Blanc will be out in a little while. Gauthier, another one in the upper tier as well, frequent finalist from last year. Multiple 5th place positions, doing well throughout the finals.
啊，那么男队方面还有世界排名第2位的、世界杯排名第3位以及世界杯排名第5位。与此同时，我们女子方面还有世界杯排名
23 years old, 3rd place at Valence 2013, the end of that year, and also a 4th place at Cram.
攀爬的女子运动员啊，是排名第5。
Haiyang Min, just to keep you updated, has been awarded 35.5, which is putting him in 4th place at the moment. So at the present moment in time, Adam Ondra is now down into 6th place, with including Gauthier now 4 climbers still yet to come. That's a very dangerous position for him to be in, as he's on that tier of the 33 plus point. We have Domen Skovic in 37, a height of 37, which is putting him in 1st place, followed by Karunaga Kichiro in 2nd with 36 plus, Stefano Ghisolfi in 3rd with 36 plus, Min Hyun-bin in 4th with 35.5, Sean McCall in 5th with 33 plus, Adam Ondra in 6th with 33 plus, Magnus Midtbo in 7th with 33 plus, and Masashima Akito in 8th with 33 plus. This is what I mean about that point on the wall at the moment, 33 plus being the crux. That move up and out of the roof. Dinara Fakhrudinova now pushing into the roof, as is Gauthier Super. Wait to see what's going to happen here. Interesting, we're having some feedback here from some people. Mikhail is with us saying Dinara said that she stretched her right shoulder while climbing 3rd problem in the bouldering finals yesterday. You can definitely see that there were some interesting blocks there yesterday. You can see that she's got the strapping there on the right shoulder just to give her some support. The blue tape. Gauthier already has that clip there. He's put him lower down so he doesn't have to worry about it at this point that he's on the wall. Straight up then onto the 35th hold here, which is putting him now into the finals. Looking strong at the moment, staying left here, ignoring that right foothold. I don't know whether he's going to get a foot up there in a moment. No, inching up with the left here instead. Trying to see where to go from now. I think he's going to consider, yep, over to the arête. And that, I believe, is going to give him a 37 plus, which is going to put him in 1st place ahead of Domen Skovic. Very impressive performance there from Gauthier Super of France. Currently still with Dinara Fakhrudinova into the roof section. We're going to get ready to welcome our next male athlete out for us then, which is going to be Jakob Schubert. He's returned to the IFSC circuit after a finger injury. Missed out on the bouldering. We're used to seeing Jakob on the bouldering circuit. Here you can see the route on your screens at the moment. Dinara is now following. She's going to go over to the right-hand side there, the end of this traverse in the roof, and then start pushing up on a relatively straight vertical section before moving over to the left-hand side in a moment's time. Jakob will be out with us in a few moments also. Waiting for the results to come in for that climb from Gauthier Super now to see whether that does indeed put him in 1st place. I believe it does. I think that was 37 plus. Yes, it was. 37 plus for Gauthier Super now puts him into 1st place. And now the 8th place finalist is that cut-off point with Magnus Midtbo at the moment, 33 plus, as we welcome Jakob Schubert out onto the wall. Dinara in a good position here also. Feet relatively high on this section, allowing her a little bit more purchase when she's working with this cluster as she's coming out of the lip here. Very good effort there from Dinara. I believe it should be enough as well to put her into the finals. No tops so far today. We wait to see whether either of these two routes are going to be conquered by our athletes. We're about to welcome Magdalena Rueck onto the field as Jakob Schubert makes a start.
这次奥地利的运动员在难度攀石方面的确都有非常不错的表现，也是非常值得我们学习。
主要原因也是这一次来的高手太多了，太轻敌。
没错，
不能参加几个项目，那样的话自己的体能体力会跟不过来。
是的，
所以一定要找到重点突破口，他们是很有经验的，这个他们一定会有正确的判断。
Schubert, 23 years old, born in Innsbruck, currently lives in Innsbruck, trains at the Tivoli Centre there, world ranked second at the moment. Just give you some sort of idea of previous results. He is our current world champion. We have the World Championships coming up this year. They happen every 2 years. European Championships happen every alternate year when we're not having the World Championships. He came first, the gold medal at the World Championships in Paris in Bercy in 2012. Also a gold medal at Kran in 2012. Second place in the bouldering at Chongqing in 2013. First place in the bouldering World Cup in Kitzbühel 2013. Third place in Toronto 2013. Second at the Lead Cup in Imst. Third at the European Championships in Eindhoven last year. That was in the bouldering there. And then in the lead throughout 2013. First at Perth, second in Perm, third in Haiyang, first at Kran. Goes to show the kind of rep sheet that Jakob Schubert has behind him. We'd expect to see something good here, even despite the finger injury that he has sustained. Oh, I have a question here from Moika. Question, which is easier to commentate on? Lead or bouldering climbing, and which one do I prefer? I'm not allowed to be biased. I like lead a lot for what it does. But in my opinion, personally, being close to a bouldering final with so much going on, so much that can happen, all the different types of blocks there, for me that's the one where working out the results, even in themselves, are exciting. Lead, it's more about that slow building excitement that you get from knowing that there's a high point to reach here. You can get it right now from looking at Jakob Schubert on the wall. You know that exactly where the point is he has to reach to be able to make it into the finals. You know what that's going to mean for everybody else if he does or doesn't. I like them both for different ways, put it that way. One to definitely keep your eyes on now, though, as we move through this section, is Magdalena Rueck. Very, very young, extremely powerful. Challenges Kim Jae-in, Mina Markovic, some of the greats already at the age that she's at now, all the way through the lead season last year. This is someone that we would expect to see into the finals tonight. Exceptionally strong. And from now, this is what I was talking about with the slow build of excitement. Jakob is now on the rest point here. He's going to clip in from this point. And these next 4 or 5 moves are all important for him. If he doesn't manage to make it to that lip and push up past that pyramid guppy hold that he's got with the left hand, he's going to be out of the finals here, even though he's beating some of the other athletes on counter. He has to make these next few moves. Up with the right hand. And now the left. Let's see what he's going to do here about this clip. Has to be aware of it. Looking a bit unsteady, but managing to get a hand on here. He's fighting for this now. Dragging with the toe. Interesting to see a different foot position here for acquiring the clip. All he needs now is positive movement from this hold. Taking a moment to get a bit more chalk. Has to push from this point here. And that is a place in the finals now for Jakob Schubert. That drops Adam Ondra down into 8th place and makes all the difference based on the fact we have 2 more climbers still yet to come. Adam is in a very dangerous position now. Great effort there from Jakob Schubert. Unfortunately, no top, but safe enough to make his way into the finals. Hello to Raman, who's with us, saying, were they allowed to observe the routes for the semi-finals? Yes, they were. They had their observation time down on the ground. They are all brought out. They're allowed to move around on the ground. They're allowed to use binoculars to have a little bit of a closer look at the higher points on the wall. Obviously, it's not like bouldering. You're not on the mat. You can't see every hold close up. Some of them are so far away. A great effort there from Magdalena Roach as well. It should be enough to see her into finals. We're going to wait and see here, but Jakob is definitely in now. Yeah, 35.5 plus for Jakob Schubert, puts him in 5th place. Adam Ondra now down into 8th, as I mentioned a moment ago. Sean McCall in 7th. So both Sean and Adam are currently in the danger zone at this point, as we have 2 more athletes still yet to come. And they are Romain de Grange of France, our current European champion, and Ramon Julien Dublanc, who's pretty much won everything there is to win in his career so far. One of the most experienced athletes here, world renowned. We welcome Romain de Grange now out onto the field. And here is Momoka Oda.
Also welcome Romain de Grange from France. Welcome you too.
是的，2位分别是女子队058号的是日本的小田桃花，非常年轻的高水平选手，目前的世界杯排在第3位，今年才20岁，很有实力。
Let's turn that question around as well for a moment here. Ask you guys watching back at home, which ones do you prefer? At a lead bouldering speed, which is the one that gets you going the most, which is the one that as an audience you find the most exciting? Maybe that is also in relation to what you climb yourself if you are a climber. Track climbing tends to be the most popular. It's what most people would say if they weren't climbers, but you know, it's what they would associate with climbing. Clipping up as you go, rope climbing up high. Bouldering as a discipline, in all honesty, is a relatively early development in climbing as well. It's becoming more and more popular for a spectator sport. It's very, very entertaining. But bouldering, if you remember, was developed as a training exercise more than anything for lead climbing. Over near Vail in the US, where most of that development work was done, obviously in Boulder, believe it or not. In Colorado. And it's sort of become its own thing as a discipline. And also the speed. Speed can be exceptionally exciting. We've got finals to come for you after we finish here in the lead. 5 seconds of racing up a wall. Exceptionally fast athletes. Blink and you'll miss it. So here we are, we've got some people coming in on that one already. Brian Teat saying, I like lead so much better, but that's because I prefer to top rope or lead when I climb. I love the element of risk and planning. This is what I mean about that slow build excitement. Desgrange into the roof here, move away from a rest position. Momoka Oda. I know I keep saying it, but all of these athletes are ones to watch now. We would expect them to do well here. Ramon taking a moment to rest. Up with the right hand, he's going to progress here from this point. He's got to get this next clip in. This is good for Ramon de Grange at the moment. He's got to get this positive movement up here now from 33. There it is, that's him earning his place in the finals, and I believe knocking Adam Ondra out of our finals here now. Unfortunately for him, and for us as well, don't get to see Adam climb again tonight. Mocha around the crooks on the women's wall now. Ramon pushing here still. Massive reach here. That's him using his height to his advantage. Staying away from the arete, and a new high point on the wall here. Up with the left as well. This is incredible climbing from him. Penultimate hold here now. Moving the feet up with a hand, the right hand up onto the top hold. One more and a clip, and that's it for him. We have a top here from Ramon de Grange. Exceptional, right?
Incredible. The last part, he looks like really strong. It's his style. He loves the crampy holds.
Okay, thank you.
It's incredible that he and Ramon are the oldest climbers in World Cup, and we will see if Ramon is stronger than him.
So, at this point on the wall, at the very top, we've seen some athletes going for the arete and considering using that. With Ramon, there was a very big reach up for that next hole. If he didn't use the arete, which do you think that could be height dependent? Is Ramon going to have a problem there, you think, as a shorter athlete?
I don't know, we will see. I don't know how are exactly the holds, but it's true that it's a long move. But Ramon can, I don't know the name in English, sorry, but take the hole and go more down than normal athletes.
He's got the ability to extend further and maintain that crimp.
Ladies and gentlemen, let's welcome the last PA male athlete, Ramon Julian from Spain.
So our next athletes out there, we have Mina Markovic on the wall now, and Ramon Julian Publanc, our final male athlete here from Spain. We have just seen our very first top here from Ramon de Grange of France. An incredible effort there from him. It's getting very exciting here. Ramon Julian Publanc now out for his climb here. Mina Markovic out for her attempt at moving into the finals, and after Mina, Kim Yain still yet to climb. So Mina very quickly moving into this first pyramid section. We saw that cause a problem for some of the earlier athletes today. Ramon, slow and steady, finding his momentum. Slow and steady here. So some more of your responses coming in for us here now as well. Commander saying, I love all disciplines. I've come to appreciate speed since Libor moved here to train. The Titan, we'll be seeing him later on. Libor Rosa from the Czech Republic. Moika saying, I prefer boulders. So much fun to watch and climb. It's not over after one try. Lead takes a while to get into that interesting stage. Mikhail saying, I like boulder and lead equally, but speed was the same all the time. Classic speed for him was more interesting. Classic speed, if you don't know what that was, the speed route stays the same. It's a one official route that the guys have to climb. Classic speed was a different route every time. The guys had to come out and just try and move as fast as they could, figuring out how they could work their way up. So basically lead climbing under pressure of a time limit, or trying to do it as fast as you possibly can. We saw that actually here in Haiyang last year. They had a classic speed competition. It was really interesting. Tony here offering some support in the commentary box. I know he's going to go quiet here at the moment because he's watching Ramone's climb. Just venga, 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 I can hear in the background. Oh, unbelievable. A very, very early fall there for Ramone. Which I know that Sean McCall is going to be very, very glad of, but not good for Ramone at all. He's going to be very disappointed with that problem of the movement into the roof section there. And a fall for Mina Markovic as well. That might be enough to see her into the finals, but for Ramone, this early fall on the roof has cost him by the look of things. What happened here, Tony?
I don't know exactly. He dabbed a little bit because probably he see the move a little long, he dupes, and when you dub, we talk about that before.
Spent quite a lot of time moving back and forward and just figuring out what he was going to do from that point. Was it just a misplaced movement forward, or?
I don't know, probably it's a mistake for him because Min is the same size and do it.
Very disappointing for Ramone there. He's going to be annoyed with that one himself. But that's looking like we now have our male finalists. And for Sean McCall, that's some very, very good news. He was sitting in 7th place a moment ago. He then went down to 8th after we just saw the incredible climb from Ramon de Grange at the top. And as far as we're concerned, then that was pretty much a perfect semi-final route, or a route in general. What they say is a perfect route is when you see one top and a nice spread of results through the top 8 athletes, and that's exactly what we've seen here. A top for Ramon de Grange, our one top on the men's route, a 37 plus for Gordier Super puts him in 2nd, a 37 for Domen Skovic, a 36 plus for Karenaga Kichiro in 4th. Stefano Ghisolfi with 36 plus also, but difference in count back there puts him in 5th place. Jakob Schubert 35.5 plus in 6th place. Min Kyung Bin in 7th, 35.5, and Sean McCall just clinging on there in that group of the 33 pluses where the crux was in 8th place. But in terms of a perfect route, that's given us that example there, a nice spread. So Kim Jae-in takes to the wall here now. Mina Markovic earlier fall there, but around the point that we've seen on the women's wall, Bia Cross at the moment for them. No top so far on the women's route. Mina Markovic up into tied 1st place position with Anna Verhoeven and Magdalena Roek. Alan Richard on the feed saying there, let's see that top from Kim Jae-in. Mocha saying, I now expect to see some climbing poetry from Kim Jae-in. By far, in my personal opinion, the most elegant lead climber I've ever seen. See here, at the moment, this fluidity that she has of her movements, consistent planning and preparation onto the next move. One flows eloquently into the next. beautiful climbing to watch. And we know where she's got to get to as well. Our high point currently at 35 plus, around that roof section and moving into the cluster ahead of there. Gijón had a knee injury, if you remember, last year in Gijón at a boulder event. She jumped down from the top of a boulder problem. Landed funny. Oof. Now that was very unexpected from her. Very risky at that point, a moment to reconsider where she's going from that point. Very unusual for her as a climber. Don't expect to normally see her misplace or slip or have any issues really, unless she's coming down. A fall there would have been disastrous for her. Looking good at the moment here. You see the flexibility here as well coming into play. He moves up through the pyramid section here on the wall. Moment to shake out here at this point. A lot of people saying the speed and lead duel is a favourite for them. So we've got Josh Levin joining us from the US of A. As well on the feed here. Mikael saying cool to see Sean and Ondra in finals. And he's saying when I show sport climbing to my friends, I show how Sean climbs in lead. He's got a very, very fast, almost aggressive attitude when it comes to lead climbing. The style that he started to improve on, even increase that speed over the past few years. Particularly last year, seeing that difference in how he climbs and how he treats a lead route. Makes it very exciting when we deal with finals and things later on. We're going to see him burst out later on in those lead finals. A lot more still to come, guys, and to look forward to as we move through the rest of today. Gijón moving across at this traverse section now. As I was mentioning, she had that knee injury last year. She did come back into the lead season, climbed exceptionally well for the latter half of the lead season. She has got some strapping on that knee at the moment, so let's hope that that's not causing it too much of an issue. This is her moving into the finals now. She's around the high point. Up to the next one as well. This is what we expected to see from Gijón. Very nice here, moving up into the upper section. Are we about to see our one and only top on the women's lead route? Gijón of Korea. Still fighting here. Up to the pyramid. Volume. Up with the right here as well. Gijón goes out with the left hand. A little bit unsure of where she was going, and down she comes, but that is a new high point on the women's wall. We're seeing something quite interesting happening here as well. We have a tied 7th place in the women's. It's looking like we're going to see 9 in our finals for the women.
男女子进入到最后决赛的争夺。当然，大家不要走开，因为我们马
So
上。
Kim Jae-in down on the floor again. We're about to wait to see her results updated, and we'll bring them up on the screen for you now. We can show you what the results are as we have them at the moment. So the men's first for you then, looking at who we're going to see later on tonight. Bring that up for you now. Here they are. These are your top 8 male athletes. So we have Ramon de Grange with a top in first place. Gautier Soper in second with a 37 plus. Domin Skovic in third with a 37. Karinaga Kichiro in fourth with 36 plus. Stefano Gazolfi fifth with 36 plus also. Due to that count back, they're split there. Jakob Schubert in sixth with a 35.5 plus. Min Hyun-bin in seventh with 35.5. And then Sean McCall in 8th. He'll be first out later on tonight with a 33 plus. As you can see, Adam Ondra and that line of people on the 33 plus score. After that, just missing out on a finals. Here's the second page for you and how some of our other athletes got on in the men's. And in a moment, we're going to take you over onto the women's. In a second is page 3. As you can see, Loic Timmermans very disappointed with his climb earlier on, as was Kim Yavi. The early falls there, they weren't expecting that at all, and we weren't expecting to see it. So in a moment's time, we're going to bring up the women's for you now. I believe we're going to see 9 here in the finals, due to Kim Jae-in's performance a few moments ago. Moika just saying on the feed here, I'm going back to sleep. It's 5 a.m. here. I'll see you for the finals. Thanks for being with us, Moika. Here we are then, our top athletes for the women's. As you can see, that tied 8th position there, but it's Kim Jae-in in first place with a 39. Anak Verhoeven, Magdalena Roig and Mina Markovic all in tied second place with a 35 plus. They're tied on countback as well, so 3 tied seconds. Could cause some issues later on when it comes to countback. Let's hope it doesn't. Dinara Fakhridanova in 5th with a 34 plus. Ellen Janiko in 6th with a 34. Risa Ota in 7th with 33.5. And then Charlotte Durif, Yuka Kobayashi in tied 8th place with a 33 plus, also just like the men's, and that's going to give us our 9 athletes in the finals. Here's page 2 for you. Momoka Oda unfortunately not making it through. Neither is Evgenia Malamid or Alize Dufresne, who held a high point for quite some time in the women's. Mathilde Brumang with that earlier fall, also knocking herself out of a chance at the finals. That's your top 20 here on your screen. And then here it is down to the 26th place with Jayan Rong, unfortunately one of the first athletes out, also there at the bottom of that pile. So guys, I'm going to say a brief farewell to you now before we're back with the speed in a few moments time. The speed final coming up for you, but just to leave you with this then, a brief message from our chief route setter of what to expect later on in the finals for the lead here. See you soon.
My name is Remy Sama. I'm the chief route setter for the Lead World Cup, and I'm happy to be here in Haiyang. We work 1 week for preparing this competition, and now we are ready for semi tomorrow and for the final. There is a lot of humidity here, and like we can saw this morning, many climbers have problems with that. They don't have a good friction with the holes, so that's why we have to be careful, especially in final with the volumes, because you need a good friction. So we will maybe have a look on the weather to be sure that we will not have problems about the level. So for the men's final routes, we plan hard routes with a power route, because the wall is not very high. We like to have a spectacle, a good show with climbers, and we have a route about 45 move with a hard beginning, most sensation, and the middle part we have like a very spectacular movement where the climber cross and he will be front of the public, and after they will cross all the roof with many movements in no foot, really physical movements, and we hope about 2 or 3 climbers in the last part of the route who is more technical, and they will need to take time for the last movement and be slow to go to the top.
So powerful but risky for them, yeah?
Yes, really risky. Many movements where you have to go to jump, and it's not possible to go the hold before. So we will see. We hope that will be a good show for everybody. For the women, the route is not the same style. It's more an endurance route because we are in the profile on the right, and this profile is more high. We have about 55 movements, and it's really physical. It's not the woman's style, it's more like a men's style, with a roof a little bit complicated to understand, hard to read, and after the last part is quite the same style of men route, and the same we hope to have maybe 2 or 3 girls in the last part. We fight for the top.
Are you very aware of the fact that it's the start of the lead season? For you as a chief route setter, is this a time to test the climbers and to see how you are going to develop for the rest of the year?
Sure, that's right, because that's the first World Cup, the last one were 6 months before, so that's why we choose to have a hard qualification, for men especially, to be able to see the level and to adjust the semi, to adjust the final, because we don't have a lot of information about their shape, and we are not in Europe, so long travel, not the same hours, so we have to test them and to know what they'll be able to do.
Thank you very much for talking to us.
Thank you for you.